sizable full time off and then kind of getting to reassess or reevaluate or continue to work on some of those offensive things?
Yeah, certainly it's been a positive to have multiple bye weeks, just in general. One, from a self-scout standpoint, and then two, obviously for us, whether we're playing younger players and getting Cutter as many reps as we can, that's been a benefit of us where we're at right now.
We've heard a lot about this self-scout idea, but for those who may not have that idea on their plate or for fans, like what does that actually look like? What does that process look like for you guys?
Yeah, it looks, the groups you put in there, 11 personnel, 12 personnel, how much do you run it? How much do you throw it? What are the tendencies with alignments? It gives you an opportunity to quickly watch the last 3-4 years of third downs and see what similarities show up, whether it's, since we've been here or even going further back. And so it just gives you an opportunity, again, to sit down, watch the rest of the league, see where you're struggling, see where everybody else is struggling, and put the best plan together to have success.
Well, Coach, we all know Texas's defense is very good, maybe even elite. But does it give you any confidence knowing that Cutter was able to put some nice drives and throws together against them last year in just, I think, his second game as a college player?
Yeah, there's confidence there. I think there's also confidence in just him continuing to get better week in and week out. And I think we've seen that. Again, I think, the things that you almost can't work on, I think he has a lot of those things, which you either have it or you don't. And so I think that's been a huge positive for us. I think he's playing confident. We got to keep building around him to make him as successful as we can.
It sounded like those freshman receivers, Cam and DJ in particular, probably got some more reps last week. What have you seen from them as you try and figure out that rotation at that position?
I think Cam in particular, what he went in there versus Georgia and did, again, as a freshman, we talk about those things you can't teach. For a guy to go into that moment, John, as you know, he's a guy who got here in July. It wasn't a guy that early enrollee. And for him to go out there and play fast and go make plays, it was one of the few times we really felt like, man, he's going after the ball and making plays. And so certainly need to keep building with that. DJ's another guy we're excited about. He's been banged up a little bit, but really valuable for him to get out there and get those extra reps.
Cutter said after that Georgia game he felt very comfortable with the way you called that game. How do you feel like now in terms of knowing what he can do, what the rest of the offense can do with him, and kind of sticking to those things?
Yeah, there's certainly more comfort. I think we were able to get him more completions, get the ball out of his hand quickly. It's going to be a continual thing for us on creating explosive plays. And I think oftentimes you look at, from a self-scout standpoint, like 75% of the number of being really high where you think an explosive play was created has not come off of necessarily throwing it down the field or making those explosive calls. They've come off of regular plays where guys are making people miss. Similar to us last week, where our biggest gain was us throwing a now screen to Kendrick Law, him breaking tackles. Next thing you know, it's a 38-yard gain. And so that's always going to be the thing for us, is continuing to get him as comfortable as we can, but working on creating those explosive plays.
What's sort of not the key, but what's the point of emphasis to Cutter to make sure that it is growth forward and not sort of take 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of deal? Yeah,
I think it's being as decisive as possible. I think for us from a coaching standpoint, not looking at it as it's 1 to 2 to 3 with an alert here versus man, and if they do this, you can do that. Ultimately getting him to the point where, where's the ball probably going to go? Why are we calling this play? And if it's not there, climb the pocket, get vertical, and take off. And I think that's the biggest thing for him, is from a simplification process, getting him to play fast, make quick decisions, and letting his natural ability take over.
So that's been such an important part of this offense all season long. He's a little bit banged up right now. So first, where have you seen, where's he at right now? And 2, what have you seen out of the other running backs kind of in his absence a little bit?
Yeah, we know how physical this league is, and so I don't know how many true number 1 backs are just feeling great, So he's taking the reps he takes to get ready week in and week out. Again, we're extremely fortunate to have Dante here and what he's been able to add as a 1-2 combo there. And we've talked about the whole group, you know, as those guys, even the younger guys, being able, Jason, to really just keep building and get better. So, again, Seth is a talented player. It's bigger than that from a leadership standpoint with him, as well as what he brings to our offense. So we just got to get him healthy and get him going.
What you said at one point in camp, that Cam was kind of a surprise when he got some extra reps there. What did you all like about him in the recruiting process, and what's going to stand out so he can get to this spot?
I think number one, when we evaluated him, it was almost like he was really great with the ball in his hands. He was constantly making guys miss. We talk about how do you create explosive plays, and that being one of them is high percentage throws, but when you get the ball to somebody, they do something with it. And I think he showed that time and time again on his film. He's a really rare human being. I don't know how much you guys have been around him, but he's probably one of the coolest kids we've had the opportunity of coaching. He's appreciative to be here. He's got a great attitude. And so, again, it's that mixture of player and person where when you get that and some of your better players or your better people, I think, you know, it starts jumping out to you.
What do you see from the Texas defense on film, and is there a guy or a couple of guys over there that really has your focus and attention?
Yeah, I mean, they're really good. They're really good. I think they're top 5 in scoring defense, top 10 in turnovers. I think they play extremely hard. I think the defensive end is one of the better defensive ends we'll play this year. I think there's a Mike linebacker who's outstanding. But overall, obviously, have a lot of history with Pete Kwiatkowski and know Pete Kwiatkowski well. They do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them. There's not a lot of big plays down the field. They play sound. They play tough. It will be a great challenge for us.
The season is definitely a marathon. You mentioned you've had 2 bye weeks, successes on offense, other games where you have struggled. Who's like the emotional leader of this core, kind of keeping things together, whether you're achieving everything you want to or maybe not meeting the mark?
I think it's a emotionally resilient group. We've thought that about them as a whole from day one when we got started. I think the offensive line has always been a very mature group. They set the tone. I think you guys have been around those guys to know we can't ride the roller coaster, if you will, too high, too low. You see that week in and week out in this league now that everybody's playing actual SEC teams. And so I think it starts with them, and obviously, you know, a guy like Josh Caddis is another guy that comes to mind, Seth McGowan, guys that have been there, done that, know what it takes, and we rely on those guys.
A couple more. Anyone else? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Maybe that Florida game. Does that give you any confidence knowing that you've had success against this team in the past?
Yeah, there's a lot of things they do similar and a lot of things they do different. We're just kind of, it was definitely a good learning experience coming into this year, all that type of stuff. But yeah, definitely watching some clips and some footage from that game last year, and just taking it as all around learning experience for sure.
So far this season, you, Josh, and Willie seem to be on the same page just like this. Maybe that's some of the off the field stuff you guys do. How's that connection with some of your receivers coming along halfway through the year?
Oh yeah, it's getting better and better day by day. I mean, every single day we're out here getting better. Guys are coming to work and doing what they can out here at practice, and everybody's devoted to the playbook right now and really knowing it. I think we're taking big strides offensively for sure.
Bush said that the big point of emphasis for you is being decisive. So what does that mean for you on a down-by-down basis?
Just kind of like he preaches having a plan and just kind of knowing my plan to perfection and not questioning myself, not patting the ball, letting it rip. Trusting my eyes, trusting my feet, and just go out there and let it rip.
How have you seen Cam Miller kind of build on what you did at Georgia over the last 2 years?
Yeah, he's going to go out there and give it his all. He's going to lay it all out there. He's going to do everything he can to get that ball out of the air. And he's taken a lot of strides in practice. He came in right before fall camp, so that's a kind of a quick turnaround to kind of learn the whole offense, learn everything like that. But he's really coming along, and I'm super proud of him. He's in here every day watching film, getting better, catching jugs. Whatever it is, he's getting extra work in every day.
Back at Kroger coming up on Saturday, but before the bye, 2 road matchups, 2 conference matchups. What do you think is the biggest thing you learned from the offense, hitting the road, having those experiences that you've been able to reflect on and you can bring into this next matchup?
Yeah, like Coach Hamdan's point, just being decisive and being confident in my feet and just knowing the plan to a T. Not just me, but the offense as a whole. Getting everybody to really buy in to what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish as an offense. And I think we're really starting to establish kind of identity offensively and start to figure out who we are.
How tough was it just to you have a bye, you go on the road twice, you lose both of them. How tough is it to stay positive after that tough month?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be frustrating when you're out here. You know what I mean? The work you're putting in is not coming to fruition quite yet, but I feel like everybody still believes, and everybody's coming to work every single day, and we know the team we can be. We're the only ones in here in the locker room every day, and we see what we can do, and every single one of these dudes believes that we can win every game we play. We just got to put it all together, and we're starting to put those pieces all together. For sure.
That Ole Miss game seems like ages ago. How nice is it to be finally back here in the Bluegrass playing at Kroger Field in front of your fans?
That's gonna be awesome. It's like 35 days, 36 days, something like that. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome to play back at home again, and I can't wait to play against a good team here at Kroger Field and give the fans something to get excited for.
What exactly do they do well on film when you turn it on that really pops on tape?
They do a lot of things well, whether it be they got a lot of good individual players, and they got a good scheme. They kind of do a lot what they did last year, but they do a lot of things well. They got some good players, D-line, linebacker, DBs, you know what I mean, they got everybody, but there's a lot of things we can take advantage of, and I think we're starting to find that niche here at practice.
What's it do for a quarterback when you've got a receiver like Cam that seems like he just goes up and attacks the 50-50 ball?
It just gives me that much more confidence to give him a shot. You know what I mean? Just being confident, and yeah, he's a guy I love to see out there, and we got a lot of other guys who are really buying in and trying to make plays. So I'm excited for this Saturday for sure.
I've heard a lot about trying to get DJ Miller back implemented in this offense after he kind of got set back a little bit in camp with the injury. What have you seen out of him so far?
He's out here working and getting better every day. Like you said, that injury makes it tough, kind of missing a lot of fall camp, and just still kind of having some stuff with that. But he's been out here practicing for a while, and he looks really good. He's running well, and he's making plays. He's a guy we know we can make plays, and a guy we got to utilize as an offense.
Just kind of going back to the decision making real quick. You obviously have an ability to get out of the pocket, keep your eyes downfield. How do you, I guess, balance the innate playmaking ability that you have and want to make the big play versus maybe taking the safe route out and just continuing the drive?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of kind of maturing as a quarterback and getting better. I kind of just I've got a lot of experience over these last few weeks, and that's going to help me a lot. You know what I mean? Taking every single play and learning something from it. And there's a lot of situations like that where I've done I can't just try to be Superman out there, you know what I mean? I got to take what they give me, and sometimes they play the perfect defense for our call, you know what I mean? And I just got to throw it out of bounds. Not always trying to run around back there and make something happen, but I feel like those plays just come naturally, like stepping up in the pocket and getting outside of it and kind of making a play outside of the pocket. That just kind of comes naturally, and that's a feel thing. And I think I know now, like, when I'm trying to force something to happen for sure.
When do you think that clicked?
I think just a few reps here and there from every game. You know, there's been some good things I've done outside of the pocket on some plays, and there's been some times where I've kind of set us back a little bit and not put us in a bad D&D. But yes, the like taking sacks and stuff like that, that's something I got to cut out. And ultimately, that's just going to put us in a better position to win and put us in better down and distance.
Good. All right. Thanks, Cutter.
Yeah. Coach said that the offensive line really sets the tone. How tough is it to remain sort of positive when things aren't necessarily going well on the final scoreboard?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's preached to us, you know, like even throughout camp, it's like there's ups and downs everyone's season. And the teams that, you know, win a lot of games and stuff like that are the teams that keep battling through that and stay together as a team and, you know, don't fall apart through adversity. So adversity is part of football. It's part of life. You know, that's what football gets you prepared for is, you know, nobody's just got a complete smooth road in life or football. So we're staying together, practicing, you know, as hard as we can and just ready to, you know, get on the right side of the scoreboard.
Is it even harder when you got to kind of sit in a loss for an extra week during a bye?
Yeah, it's no fun. I mean, sitting through a loss on a bye week, yeah, it's definitely no fun. But you know, there's nothing else to do but work, and that's what we've been talking about. Is the only thing you can do is just keep getting better as a team, and every single position group getting better, and that'll help us get better as an offense, defense, and a team. So
what have you all done that makes you think, okay, we can take steps forward, we can get better?
I think just, you know, seeing us come out here and put it together, you know, like there's practices where you come out here and, you know, it's good on good periods, like the bye week even today. And, you know, the good things on both sides of the ball, it's just we got to play our best all the time. And, you know, that's something that we've been harping on throughout this bye week is just giving it, like, playing our best every time we're out there. So that's really what we're focused on.
Did it feel like y'all started kind of clicking in that Georgia game offensively?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, like you see, there's like these pop up like spark moments almost, and we just got to keep building on those and making those be, you know, the normal, and not having, you know, a play here and there where, you know, the O-line messes up or, you know, whatever. I mean, I only worry about our group messing up or whatever, but yeah, we got to get rid of the negatives too. Though there was a lot more positives, but we still got to, you know, work on the negative stuff too for sure.
Talk a little bit about the O-line's importance, especially this week with a very talented Texas front with some good edge rushers and some guys inside as well.
Yeah, you know, it's week in and week out in this league, but Texas, I mean, they're one of the best in the conference really up front. I mean, there's guys that pop out on film at every position, D-line, interior, edges, linebackers, safeties, corners, I mean, literally every position. So, you know, it's important for us to, you know, make Cutter feel as comfortable as possible so he can do what we all know he can do, and you know, give him time to get the ball to receivers. We got some special guys out there too. So, yeah, we're just focused on protecting our quarterback, running the ball, you know, when we get in those situations, and we're just ready to play.
Talking about, well, that Ole Miss game seems like ages ago. How nice is it to finally be back here at Kroger, sleep in your own bed before game, and play in front of these fans?
Yeah, you know, it's super nice. Coach Stoops was just talking about it's been 37 days since we played at home. So, you know, we're a completely different team since then. We've, you know, played a lot more football since then. So, you know, we're excited to go out there and put it all together and, you know, really play up to our potential. So
it was just a blessing just to be out there. I mean, I enjoyed the atmosphere. The crowd, it was loud, but, you know, just going out there and playing football and just, you know, executing, doing what I have to do.
You're a Camden, New Jersey guy. There's a lot of those guys come here in basketball and football.
Yes,
how
sir.
much connection do you have to any of those guys who played here before?
Familiar with DJ Wag. And then it was a couple other Camden guys, but I'm not too familiar with them. But yeah, you know, let's create the Camden pipeline.
What are you working on now? How do you build on what you did at Georgia?
Just staying sharp, just making sure that I know everything, alignment, assignment, and just playing with speed, and just being available for, you know, my team, my quarterback, and just being an overall team player.
I was just saying, how much was that to you got here in June, you know, and it's just the summer, but like how much did you have to figure out what's going on versus what you were doing in high school?
It was a lot. But I caught on pretty fast. Just based it down, just broke it up. You know, honestly, when it comes to the plays and the signals and all that stuff, you know, in high school, I wasn't really used to that. But coming here and just adjusting to it, and like I said, we have a really good receiver group, and they helped me every step of the way. Even the receiver coach, well, of course the receiver coach, but, you know, just everybody was just in. You know, we pour into the guys here, so it's been a blessing.
Coach Washington just shared with us a story from his freshman year and said there's just something about at the wide receiver position when you get about the midpoint of the season where things start to click. Did you feel that happening for you?
I would say so. You know, towards, you know, now I'm more comfortable, you know, just going out there, doing my assignments, knowing where to line up and executing. So you could say that, you know, towards the season, you get better and you're more aware and you're more confident on whatever you're doing.
He said they moved you to the slot after the first bye week. Were you more comfortable there, or was that something you had played more?
I had actually, when I first got in the building, I actually started off in the slot. Then I kind of moved to the Z and then moved back to the slot. So it's kind of been like I got the best of both worlds. So I understand both positions, understand the concepts, and so it was pretty smooth.
What's the dynamic like in that wide receiver room? You've got so many veteran guys who are still trying to fight for reps, and then you've got so many young guys too. It's kind of like either you're really old or really young in that group. How do you all kind of feed off each other, I guess?
Just give each other confidence, you know. We pour into each other. Everybody pour into each other. We give everybody confidence, you know. It's a very loving group. You know, we stick together. We tight.
I know it wasn't always Kentucky in the recruiting process. They kind of came on strong late. So what was the pitch that ultimately convinced you to come here?
The atmosphere, you know, getting to come to one of the games and just seeing the atmosphere and just seeing the people that's, you know, surrounded by Kentucky. Like, everybody here, you know, they care. This is a caring program, and why not be a part of a great program like that?
What game was it that you were here for? You remember?
It's crazy because I actually came the last game, the Louisville game, and,
yeah.
You know, but that's not what I was looking at. You know,
Yeah.
It wasn't just the game that got me to flip. It was just, like I said, everything was one, you know, and it just felt like the right place to be, and, you know, we made this flip.
Am I right? You all won the state like the week later?
We did win the state. Yeah, that
maybe like a week or
That
two.
week,
but
yep, that week we won the state, went down to Rutgers and beat Phillipsburg.
For a lot of guys, it would seem like they didn't have a lot of success throwing the ball last year as a receiver. Why still overlook that and say, like, I can do this here, this can work for us?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
But because their offense, they struggled throwing the ball last year.
Yeah.
How did that still attract you? You were able to kind of overlook the numbers, I guess, and still see a role where you could be featured the way you wanted to.
Like I said, it was a family. It was real tight. What I seen, everybody was tight, and just trusting the coaches and just knowing that like things gonna change. And like I said, the overall was just a great fit. I seen it. Got to visit with my mom, and it was just a great fit. So I was like, it's the move.
Thanks, Kim.
Appreciate it, man.